Alright, let's go through this worksheet here. Alright, so if we're looking at number 1 here, these two angles here, this angle B and angle 125 are corresponding. Corresponding angles are equal, so that means this one is 125 degrees. If we go over here to number 2, I look at this angle B and this angle 150. These are alternate exterior angles, and so they are also congruent, so that means this is 150 degrees. Oh, let's go down here to number 3 and 4. I think we can do these pretty quick. This angle and this angle, because of that right angle there, that means they are complementary. So we have to go 90 minus 57 to get 33 degrees. And if we go over here to number 4, angle B and the 58 degree angle are alternate interior. So much like alternate exterior, alternate interior angles are also congruent. So that means that is 58 degrees. Going down to here, lastly, to numbers 5 and 6. Numbers 5 works a lot like number 2. It's alternate exterior, so these two are congruent. And number 6 works like number 3, so I'll just subtract from 90 to get that the angle is 48 degrees. Alright, going to the next page, numbers 7 and 8. I think we can actually also do numbers 9 and 10 as well here. 7 is actually a set of vertical angles. You see how they're opposite of each other? So kind of in some of that video, if you can kind of see what they did the color coding. But this is 38 degrees. Number 8 is also vertical. Again, we can see that we have those two intersecting lines where they're opposite each other. So that is 44 degrees. Number 9, that appears to be alternate interior again. So that is 41 degrees. And number 10 is alternate exterior. So those are congruent. So that's 35 degrees. Okay, and again, you can kind of always go by the rule that I've said that, if the angles appear to be the same, okay, looking at the size of this angle right here and that one there, they're both these little tiny angles. And so they either have to be the same or they're supplementary to each other in most times in pictures. So since clearly they're both about the same size, they should be equal. Okay, going on to numbers 11 and 12. 11 is corresponding, and again, they look like they're the same size, so I'm just going to go ahead and say that they're equal. And number 12 is alternate exterior, and they look about the same size, so I'm going to say that they are also congruent. Okay, now we get down to these ones here where it says we've got to solve for x. Okay, so one route we can go is figure out, okay, let's figure out what the value of this angle right here is. Okay, well, I have intersecting lines, and intersecting lines, so this here forms a straight line. Okay, so that means if I think about that turning to there, kind of like the arms of a clock, and that turning to there, I've gone half a circle. I've gone 180 degrees. So that means this angle and this angle are supplementary. Alright, so we'll just say, well, 180 minus 100 then has to equal 80. So now this isn't my answer, but that is what this guy right here has to equal. So that means we can go 3x plus 5 is equal to 80. Subtracting 5, we should get that 3x equals 75. And then dividing by 3, we get that x is equal to 25. Okay, and I used up quite a bit of space there. Let's see if we can erase all of this. Okay, now let's go to number 14 here. 14, okay, looks like we've got that right angle symbol, so that means this one and this one Sorry, I'm off a little bit. Those two should be complementary. Now, unfortunately, I don't know what either angle is, so I'm actually going to have to add it all together. I'm going to have to go x plus 8 plus 4x plus 2. All of that has to equal 90 degrees. Okay, so x and 4x is 5x, and 8 and 2 is 10, and again, that has to equal 90 degrees. Okay, let's take this down here just a little bit. Whoops. Let's go down here. A little space. Let's just find us a little space. Okay, so we've got 5x plus 10 equals 90. Subtracting 10, I get 5x equals 80. And then dividing by 5, x is equal to 16. All right, page number 3. So if we look here at number 15, okay, so again, we've got this straight line here. So that means these two added together should equal 180. So I'm just going to kind of do this little trick here since these two are over the top of each other. I'm just going to add them straight down the column. So 3x and 6x is 9x. And 7 plus 2 is 9. And so since those are supplementary, I'm going to say that we have 9x plus 9 is equal to 180. Subtracting 9, I have x is equal to 171. Dividing by 9, we should get that x equals 19. Okay. Let's slide over here. All right, 16's not too bad. All right, so we have to kind of think about, all right, how they're not intersecting lines, but I have parallel lines here. Well, notice these two angles are in the same position. They're both to the right of and below. They're both to the right of the parallel line, and then they're below this line. So that means they are corresponding. So I can set these two angles just equal to each other. So 6x plus 2 equals 104 degrees. Subtracting 2, I get 6x is equal to 102. And then dividing by 6, I get that x is equal to 17. Okay, slide on down here a little bit more. All right, number 17. Okay, 17 looks a lot like it did on number 16, where I've got angles in the same position. So I can just say that 4x is equal to 56. Dividing by 4, x is equal to 16. And then number 18, okay, I've got complementary, I've got the right angle symbols. So these are complementary, and kind of like on number 15, I'm going to do a little trick. I'm just going to kind of add them straight down. So 4x and 4x is 8x. Yeah, let's go over here. 8x plus 1 is 2 equals 90. Okay. Well, let's subtract 2. So that means 8x is equal to 88. Dividing by 8, x equals 11. All right, so that's kind of it for these types of problems now. So now we're going to switch to kind of the vocabulary things, and I'm going to kind of abbreviate on a lot of these. All right, so 19, we've got the opposite angles, so those would be vertical. Number 20, those two angles, they form a straight line. All right, you see that this straight line right here. So that would have to be supplementary. Number 21 is kind of a similar idea as number 20, so that is also supplementary. 22, okay, again, anytime I see that right angle symbol, that automatically has to be complementary. All right, last page. Here we go. Again, I see that right angle symbol. So, not even thinking about it, automatic reaction is it's got to be complementary. Okay, number 24. The two angles are inside, or they're in between the parallel lines, so they're interior, but they're on opposite sides. So we will call these alternate interior angles. That's an I, not a J. Number 25, okay. So notice they're both above, let's go the red, they're both above this line. So they're above the parallel, and they're on the same side of the transversal. So that means they are corresponding since they're in the same position. Number 26, kind of like number 24, notice they're both inside, and they're on opposite sides. So we will say that that is alternate interior angles. All right, almost done, almost done. Last couple here. Number 27, corresponding again. Okay, the angles are in the same position. Oh, again, the right angle, so I'm going to say that that's complementary. Number 30, or well, let's go 29, 29. Okay, now this time, the angles are not inside here. They're not inside these parallel lines. So they're outside, so they're exterior, and they're on opposite sides, so they are alternate exterior angles. And number 30 is the same thing, both outside, so they are alternate exterior angles.